Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about Brandin Cooks going to the Green Bay Packers because we watched yesterday's game against Buffalo Bills, and honestly, it didn't end that bad. I felt like for the most part the Packers played well. However, it's very, very evident to me the wide receiver room is nowhere where we need it to be. I mean, it isn't even close. Now, I will give credit, Buffalo's got a great defense first off. The Packers were missing a whole bunch of wide receivers, specifically Allen Lazard, who's currently wide receiver 1. But I gotta be honest with you, even if the Packers were to rattle off, let's say, a 5-game win streak right now, go like, you're looking at 8-5, let's say the Vikings begin to collapse, or, whatever happens in a world where just the Packers win a bunch of games, I still don't feel great about the wide receiver room heading into the playoffs or heading into the final chunk of the season where they're going to need some big-time wins. You've got the Eagles coming up. You've got the Rams coming up. You obviously have that game against the Vikings coming up. So there's going to be a lot of games where the Packers just can't lose, and I think getting Brandin Cooks would do wonders for him. So far on the season, Brandin on the more so, I don't want to use a word rebuilding for the Houston Texans because they're getting there, but they're still kind of rebuilding right now. So Brandin Cooks doesn't have too much of a role there as far as the future goes, considering he is 29 years old. This season, 32 receptions, 354 yards, and a touchdown. That's 11.1 yards per reception. Now, my favorite part about Brandin Cooks is, first things first, he's coming off back-to-back 1,000-yard reception seasons. All right, last year, 90 receptions, 1,037 yards, 11.5 yards per catch, along with 6 touchdowns. But what's the best part about Brandin Cooks is his reliability. And that's something that I think is extremely important going into the playoffs or just finishing off this season, because you want a guy you can rely on not only on the field, but you want somebody you can rely on to just stay on the field. Right, so I feel good about Allen Lazard when he's out there on the field playing with Aaron Rodgers, because they've been able to get this chemistry going for the last couple of seasons, and you can tell Aaron Rodgers definitely trusts Allen Lazard. But as far as can Allen Lazard stay on the field, that remains to be seen, especially this season. He has not really been able to stay consistently healthy along with a lot of the pieces on the Packers offense. I know that Green Bay's problems, they stem deeper than just lack of separation and your youngness and inexperience with your wideout room. I understand the offensive line has not had a single game of the same starting 5. But personally, I think once Elton Jennings is back, things are going to be trending in the right direction. So I'm not saying the Packers should go out and get Brandin Cooks, or they should go out and get a wide receiver and that's it. There are some offensive linemen available that you could make a trade for. However, when we look at Brandin, I don't think it's going to take too much to get rid of him or to acquire him. I don't think Houston wants too much from him because he's got 2 years left on his contract and he's 29 years old. It just doesn't fit the future of the Houston Texans. So I'm thinking you could give up, not really much future draft compensation. Hopefully late round draft compensation. But it was very evident to me last night that having a playmaker, having a difference maker like Brandin Cooks on the field would do wonders. So hit that like button, hit that sub button, and let me know, should the Packers get Brandin Cooks?